สวัสดีครับผมเดียวนะครับวันนี้นะครับผมก็ได้โอกาสอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับที่ได้สัมภาษณ์สุดยอดมือกีตาร์จากออสเตรเลียกับคุณพรีนิ Hi Plini.
Hey.
Yes. Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, we have some question about your playing guitar and technique and your compose your music. The first question is, please tell me about your background, about your playing guitar, how you start to play.
I started playing guitar about 15 years ago. I played drums before that when I was very young, but never got very good. And then moved on to guitar. Started learning like Green Day and Blink-182 and all that sort of thing until I discovered metal and shred players like Steve Vai, John Petrucci, and then Dream Theater, and then bands like Mastodon and Opeth and Gojira. And now I listen to a little bit more jazz sort of stuff as well. But I've just been playing and writing music the whole time for fun.
Yes, okay. And who is your inspiration for playing guitar?
Definitely all the people that I just mentioned. And I don't know, I just really enjoy it. It's a fun thing to sort of do.
Okay, I know. Next question. So you have this strong rhythmic when you playing guitar. Could you give me some advice, the good way to practice your rhythmic?
To practice the guitar?
Yes.
I've never really enjoyed practicing things like scales and techniques where you just sit down and like work on picking for maybe an hour. But I spend a lot of time recording, and I think that's a very fun way to practice because you record something and then listen to it back and you can hear where all your mistakes are or when your vibrato is not very nice. Then you do it again and you do it again and you do it again and you get better. But you've also been making music in the process, so it's musical as well as helpful. I think that's probably my best advice.
Okay. Next question. You also play odd meter and polyrhythm.
Yep.
Yes. Could you share the basic to practice about this?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the music you listen to. So one band that I fell in love with when I was young was Meshuggah, and they have a lot of that sort of rhythmic ideas that rather than going for one bar, it will go for like 16 bars before it repeats. And so that made that sound feel quite comfortable to me. And then I got into, there's a drummer called Virgil Donati from Australia who is absolutely insane. Like sometimes you just don't know what he's doing. And so listening to a lot of stuff like that and Dream Theater and then now like Periphery, I think because I've listened to it so much, that's made me comfortable to write music where it does some similar things with the rhythms.
And you also transcript the solo from some artists. I mean, you transcript the whole solo, whole song, or just a little part of the songs.
From the other bands?
Yeah.
I would usually play along. I didn't transcribe much, but I would just sit there and just play along to the song and try and figure out what's happening in each part. Or sometimes even try to copy the drums. So program like the computer to be playing the drums the same as maybe a Virgil Donati fill or something like that to try and figure out what's happening.
Okay. Let's talk about your gear.
Yeah.
What guitar you use and your amp and your effect.
Yeah. Well, this is my signature guitar from Stranberg, which is very similar to their regular 6-string models. It has pickups. This is an Australian...
Is it called Borden?
Yeah. Australian blackwood top and swamp ash body and maple neck. I guess the difference is I don't have a tone knob, and that's because I used to go on stage all the time with the tone knob turned off and then not notice until halfway through a solo and be like, oh fuck, it sounded terrible. And then the pickup switch is only a 3-way instead of a 5. So it does full humbucker, and then just these 2 coils, which is more of a like Stratocaster type sound. And then in terms of the rest, on this tour we're using one Axe FX3 for both guitarists, and also the backing tracks and the click track. So it's doing a lot of work, but it's kind of cool. For the heavy sounds we use like a 5150 model, and the cleaner stuff, something like a Fender Twin. and then just simple delay, reverb, and stuff like that, and all direct.
What kind of delay that you always need?
I usually just use on the Axe effects, either like a digital delay or analog delay, and I'll set it to usually a quarter note to the tempo of the song, and have it quite wet. I like delay because you can play the note and then walk away and do something, and the note's still happening.
Okay, maybe can I get back to your guitar? Can you share this story about how you joined with Ola Stranberg to make guitar?
I used to play in Ibanez about 10 years ago, and then, or at least for about 10 years, and then decided I wanted a new guitar, and I saw Tosin Abasi and Misha from Periphery, and Chris Ledger from Scale the Summit, all playing Stranberg, and so I thought it looked really beautiful, and if they were all playing it, it must also sound really good. So I contacted Ola by email.
By yourself?
Just by myself, yeah. And he wasn't making 6 strings at the time.
Yeah.
But it was kind of really good timing because I'd just been releasing some music, so I had some online people who liked it. And then he was just about to make 6 strings. So I managed to get one and then made a video that got a lot of views, and then we decided to do a signature model. Just became friends.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question is about your album. It's like a EP.
Yep.
You call it Sunhead.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about this album? How you make this music in this album?
Yeah. I mean, with all the music I write, I'll be playing guitar until I come across something that sounds cool, and then with that I'll start to record it and add drums and add more guitar or keyboard or whatever to start seeing if it can turn into a song. And so it's the same process with this. Once I decided to do an EP, I wanted to make sure that every track was quite different, but also not too different, so it would feel like a nice collection of songs. And as I was writing them, I found a lot of space where I might normally put a guitar solo, but I thought it would be more fun to have like a piano solo or a saxophone solo or another guitar solo. So I got some guests to play on it as well. That's sort of how it came together.
When you compose your music, your songs, you always improvisation on it or not?
Yeah, well, I'll improvise at first and then pick out the parts from the recording
And
that
arrange?
I like. Yeah, and then sort of piece it together, and then by the end, it's sort of all been totally written, and then I play it back.
Okay, let me tell you about your song. I'm not sure how to spell Fanil.
Yep.
Fanil. So I love this song very much.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
The song seems like you mix it with neo soul groove, like cause this song you have anomaly.
Yep.
Yes. To join this song.
Yeah.
Can you share how to make these songs?
Yeah. Once that song was written, it had a lot of space in it because I knew I was going to get Anomaly to play on it. So there was all this just silence where I was just imagining some amazing keyboard playing.
Yeah.
So I think just the way that he plays changed the whole feeling of the song, definitely. And also Chris, who plays drums with me, has played a lot more different styles than I have. So he can play the sort of neo-soul type grooves really well and put that into that middle section. So yeah, I guess that song in particular was probably the biggest combination of all the other people that played on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't do much, I just play it forward.
Yeah. Because when you start to play this song, the first group and change it to second group and change it. Yes,
Yeah.
Very cool song.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, if some guitarist or guitar player want to learn your songs, which song you recommend for them?
Whichever one they like the most, because then they'll have the most fun doing it.
Okay, it's very hard.
They'll be fine.
Okay. Which album that you listen to at the moment?
At the moment?
Yeah.
At the moment I'm listening to like a greatest hits of Alan Holdsworth a lot. And also totally different. There's a pop singer called Charlie Puth. I forget what the album's called, but I've been listening to that a lot. It's got really great production.
So when I heard something about you, once you said you are not jazz guitar, but you pick some of jazz technique into your. But when you play in your album, the sound seems like you play jazz.
Right. I guess that's an accident, but it comes from the music that I listen to. So maybe some of the notes or chords that I use might not be something that would typically be in like a guitar rock song, and that's maybe why it sounds like jazz. But I think to someone who listens only to jazz, that'd be like.
Okay. Maybe the last one.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing that guitarists should pay attention but they are not?
I think playing slow and vibrato, because nowadays, like you go on Instagram or Facebook and there'll be thousands of guitarists who can play so fast and amazingly, but a lot of them can't play slow as well, which I think can be hard to do because you have to relax and not worry about like not impressing someone. But yeah, I think playing slow and working on vibrato.
Thank you so much. Any words for Thai fans?
I can't wait to play the show tonight. Hopefully I can come back more and more. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Pri.
Thanks.
นี่นะครับก็คือบทสัมภาษณ์ทั้งหมดกับคุณพรีลินะครับซึ่งวันนี้จะมีมาสเตอร์คลาสและมีคอนเสิร์ตนะครับก็ถ้ายังไงรอติดตามว่ากีตาร์ไทยจะไปสัมภาษณ์ใครนะครับเทปนี้กีตาร์ไทยต้องขอบพระคุณอินดี้ป๊อปนะครับสำหรับการให้โอกาสดีๆสัมภาษณ์คุณพรีลิเทปนี้ขอลาไปก่อนนะครับสวัสดีครับ